What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/IDontWorkHereLady. This story's called Salty Lady Tries Taking My Salt When She Thinks I Work for Safeway. Apologies for the hopefully not too long telling of the story, but I'm on a 40+ hour long go without sleep because there's a virus, bug, whatever going around making me double drag in the toilet with a bucket in hand, and any distraction is a welcome one. If that's TMI for ya, sorry, but that's the way it is. Last week, I finally made up my mind to dress nice. Brown khakis and a button-up shirt. Hair was a little unruly, but I managed to get it mostly under wraps. I am also able to drive again after 5 weeks thus far out of surgery, so that's nice. And I drove the 20 minutes to town to spend a Safeway gift card I got for Christmas. I go in, and I had this compulsion for something salty, but without being soft. My taste buds wouldn't accept chips, crackers, or anything else that turns to mush. Then I see it. Beef effing jerky. This stuff is so stupidly overpriced. $15 for a 230-gram bag. But I'm not spending out-of-pocket money, so it's all good. What else was I really gonna use it on? I take 3 packages since the gift card was for $50, and I am in this almost primal sense of hunger, so I'm ignoring the world outside this jerky. I look down, and I apparently grabbed a flavored variety. Ew, no, original or not at all. I put them back and start getting antsy. Where is it? Hello? Non-torture to my overly sensitive taste buds. Where are you? At this point, I'm basically tidying up the whole damn section, which is mismatched all to hell and back, if it's even hung up in the first place, and I just wanted to make it easier for me to find what I wanted. By the time I get it all sorted and do find what I wanted and stand back up, I accidentally back up into a very irate woman. I jump ahead a little. Sorry, just a little ridiculous trying to get what a guy's gotta get, eh? Yeah, no, she immediately blasts back. Are you freaking stoned on the job just cause it's legal now? Trying to get your attention for 5 minutes now, but you ignored me cause you have the freaking munchies. Then she's hollering to anyone who might overhear that she needs the manager and rips my beef jerky out of my hands, continuing to berate me. I'm just more in shock at this moment, but I finally settle on a, okay, stupid, let's see where you take this, expression on my face. Not the manager, but one of the higher-ups regardless, comes power walking down the aisle, and before she can even finish asking what the problem is, she's already being interrupted by a verbal assault, calls to fire me for being stoned on the job, and generally being, you know, a Karen. This supervisor is totally befuddled by what she's hearing and is trying to make sense of it all. And I finally tell Karen to shut up for 10 seconds. If you're even capable of being an adult that long. I tell her, look, long story short, I'm buying food, she thinks I'm a pothead employee here, and I try to be dramatic and yank my jerky back, but she's got a death grip on it all. And she's being a colossal entitled cooter who won't let me have the jerky I wanted to buy and had to root around for like an idiot. There were interjections while I told the employee this, but I'm not gonna type out every interruption for the sake of reading comprehension. Ma'am, give him the food. Why? So we can take it in the back and share it with the other pothead employees? He doesn't work here. Just because he isn't wearing sweatpants and a dirty t-shirt doesn't mean he works for us. Ah, yeah, I totally wasn't wearing that before I decided to clean up before leaving. Yeah. Don't cover for him, he was putting everything away on that shelf. You said he was looking for that stuff in your hands. Yeah, I know, idiot. Which one is it then? Never mind. I'm going to ask you to leave. You're making a scene and harassing other shoppers. Get out. You fire him right now! How Security! Karen, embarrassed, practically runs out of the store. I wish she tried and tripped. She was in heels. I'm being petty with this thought, but I genuinely wish she hurt herself. Boop, 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 boop. She was still clenching my jerky when she tried leaving. At that point, when security grabbed her, they had to phone the police and added shoplifting to her harassment and public disturbance charges. I mean, I knew she'd be out in a few hours because we have a sickening revolving door criminal system in Canada for anything that isn't violent or white-collar crime. But it still felt nice when she saw that I saw her in cuffs. No free jerky, no discount, and nobody even apologized that I had to go through that with her. I expected as such, but I'm kinda mad now that I can't even look at this stuff without wanting to run to the bathroom again. Being sick and all preventing me from enjoying the fruits of my ordeal. Okay, this guy just said that this took place in Canada, but I know in the United States, Walmart security loss prevention people, they cannot and will not grab you when you're leaving. Like, even if you're shoplifting, even if they know you're shoplifting, they can't touch you because that's whatever you're stealing is not worth the lawsuit. I don't know how it works in Canada, so if one of y'all can point that out in the comments below to further authenticate this story's authenticity. This story's called, So Dollar Tree Has a Domino's Uniform? Okay, so go easy on me. It's my first time posting. So, a little background. I work for Domino's. It is a fun job and I love the people, especially today. They are very protective of me and I love them for that. Now on to the story. I had to wash my clothes for work because I only had one left and the apartment I rent doesn't have an in-house laundry room, so I have to go to town. So I put on my last Domino's uniform and while getting everything together, I remembered that I forgot to get laundry soap and dryer sheets. So I head to the local Dollar Tree before I head to the laundromat. Now, I am a typically generous person unless you talk to me like I am a dog or a trash. So when an old lady, we will call her Lucy, asked very politely if I would hand her a thing of the laundry soap I was at, I did, and asked if she needed help with anything else. She said yes, and as she hands me the list, my clumsy ass hits the shelf with my arm. I effectively knock nearly a whole row of detergent off the shelf. I managed to keep anything from hitting Lucy, but my embarrassment spoke volumes. She told me that it happens, and started to tell me the reason she had to come to the store was because she had knocked the open detergent on the floor at her house. I listened while picking up the laundry soap, and when I finished, I took a look at her list. Well, it would be wise to note, I know this store pretty well. I come there a lot, so I helped the lady find everything, and the things she couldn't get here, I told her where she could get really cheap. Now, I'm not gonna lie and say it took me no time. Her list was kind of long and took me a bit. I was just finishing up when a nicely dressed lady, we will call her Karen, shoved her list at me and said, "Do it." I got a look of shock and looked to Lucy. I told her nicely that I don't work there, and I was actually headed to check out as I had picked up my items while helping Lucy. She told me not to lie to her and to help her. I told her no and to leave me alone. I then checked the time and saw that if I didn't leave, I was going to be late for my real job, so I told her that I had to go to my actual job and I walked past her. While walking away, I heard Lucy ask Karen in a real sarcastic way, "So, Dollar Tree has Domino's uniforms now?" I couldn't help but snicker and I got through checkout. I made it to work on time and thought I wouldn't see Karen again. Luck was not on my side. We are the only Domino's in town, so by this deduction, which I'm surprised she was even smart enough to do, she showed up at my job. Funny how all the managers were there and half of the employees, as we typically like hanging out after shifts. So she shows up and asks to speak to the managers. So our managers have this thing where if you have something to say to them, you say it in front of all of us. So this lady literally said in front of nearly every employee that works at my store while pointing to me, "She wouldn't help me with my shopping list at Dollar Tree. She told me no and walked off. I want her fired for bad customer service." Now, I work with some pretty smart-ass people, so my big brother figure was like, "You want us to fire her from here because she wouldn't help you at Dollar Tree?" Well, yeah. So our main manager turns to me and says, "You are fired from Dollar Tree." I swear that lady lit up like a Christmas tree. Then he says something that completely ruins her life. "But you can keep working here." I never laughed so hard in my life. Unfortunately, I got written up for not helping her at Dollar Tree, and now it hangs on the bulletin board as a joke. Thanks for reading. You know what? That Domino's is a cool-ass place to work. You better cherish your time there, ma'am. This story's called, I Don't Work For You, Karen, and I Won't. I do a lot of work with lumber and sell the finished products to a select few clients, mostly smaller stores. This puts me into shops and markets fairly often, around 3 to 4 times a month, usually delivering the goods or picking up the trade-in stock or parts, depending on the arrangements. That said, I just got home from a drop-off and pickup routine, having scored a solid win with what I'll admit was a subpar retooled handicap-friendly working desk and a cabinet pairing. In exchange, I got my hot little hands on ridiculously underpriced black walnut I have plans for, meaning I am having an awesome day. Cue the arrival of the Wonder Twins at my workshop door, pounding loud enough that I can hear it over my music. My shop, my rules, my pick of the tunes. I walk to the door, dressed in my flannel finery and fresh sawdust, not happy with anyone but the select few people who know not to knock if they can hear me playing music. I don't do walk-in customers nor allow visitors inside of the shop. Did you or did you not build my husband a set of pantry shelves last week? Probably. I know that I definitely delivered some to a seller, yes, last month, 2 days before Thanksgiving. Whatever. We demand a refund. Take them out immediately. No? I don't do installation or removal. That's a not me department issue. You may leave now. Karen tries to jostle past me and get into the working area of the shop. Okay. This is a language barrier issue. See yourself out and don't come back. Like, ever. Nobody is going to be allowed inside of the shop. I demand a refund and I will be getting my refund immediately. I'll call the police. Have at it, cowgirl. I'll be pressing charges for what it's worth. I don't know you. What a jerk. You think he could talk to me like that? I'll have his left toe for lunch and teach him a lesson. God, it's uglier than a freaking enchilada. I lock up the shop and monitor her for the duration. You're gonna get arrested, you sanctimonious punk. Sure. I'll be over here, smoking a cigarette. I forbid you to smoke! Yeah, not gonna happen. My property, my smoking rules. Kick sand, lady, I'm thinking. I smoke, she fumes, the police arrive and park in my driveway. This doesn't bother me, as I could give a rat's tuckus what my neighbors think. Arrest this man for fraud and assault! He threatened me! Me, pointing to the cameras installed on my shop exterior, shrugging. Cue the cops nodding to what she's ranting about. Me retrieving the laptop from the dining room table and bringing it out to them. So, to help clear up some of the confusion, I can show you guys the video. Yes, please. Step over there, please. I oblige. They review the video. Karen suddenly changes the narrative. I'm her employee. Her husband is on the way to prove it. I stole stuff. What? I ask what it is I purportedly stole and for a description. None available. She's demanding access to the shop, saying she definitely saw it earlier in the day, definitely close to her lunch break. Double what? I tell the cops to scroll back to around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then she's changing the timeline to yesterday. Again, I ask for the specific time of day. Another change of narrative. Now I've stolen cash from her. Yeah, my patience died with that one. If she can't get or keep her story straight, allow me to do so with mine. I don't know her, her husband, or their many problems. I do know that she is trying to get into my shop and I will be pressing charges for the attempts, plus trespassing, and being a expletive deleted, not my finest moment. Cops scribble their notes, take our names and details, escort her from the property, and remind her not to make it difficult on herself by returning. They make a reasonable request that nobody presses charges, which is cool with me. Karen required further discussion on the topic and similarly obliges. I close up the shop for the night, sit on my front porch, and wait. Doesn't take long before her husband shows up, not demanding a damned thing, just issuing well-worn apologies for his wife's behavior. We shake hands, share a few laughs, and I do indicate that I have no interest in being part of any future direct transactions with him. I do point out where he can get more of my finished product if he's so inclined. and off he goes to a place that I do not envy. I fired the client who gave out my address to Karen, and I stated that I would not be able to fulfill any future business with them. I don't mind the loss and can probably get a better gig if I wait for it. Suffice to say, it's not been a good day so far, on the average. If you are reading this, Karen, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I hope that you fall on your keys and stub your toes on Legos in the dark. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. You know what? One can't help but respect someone as no-nonsense as this guy. Someone annoys him and pisses him off. He's just done with business with him. No, but seriously, that takes serious confidence in yourself, your craft, and, all of the above. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.